EGM Network.
This is Martha Matters. From real estate, healthcare, current events, taxes, or just about any topic, we're talking about it. Call us with any questions on just about any subject. Now, here she is, Martha!
Oh, well, hi there, and welcome. Hey, we have all kinds of extra good news today, and I want to explain it why. We're going to talk about the tariffs, and you know everybody was so upset our prices were going up, and between the day April 2nd, when Trump put the tariffs into effect and is slowly making deals, prices have gone down by 20%. Not everything, but a lot of major ones like gasoline, eggs, and several items, even insurance rates. I'm not saying everything's going down by 20%, but a lot of the important things that cause inflation are going down or have gone down by 20%. And let me explain why. I think our ears are full of Trump haters, whether a few Republicans, whether Democrats, it doesn't matter, independents. They are 100% wrong on tariffs are going to cause inflation and everything's more expensive, when absolutely the opposite is happening. And I want to tell you why. It's not a surprise, but President Trump, remember, he graduated from Wharton School of Business and Economics, which is probably the best one in the whole country. That's part of the University of Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, with politicians, with politicians, all of a sudden, they seem to know everything about finance, and they may have had less financial courses than many of you and me listening. This is ridiculous. And they all of a sudden become experts. Oh, the tariffs are going to increase and everything's going to be more inflation if you thought Biden was bad. And all of a sudden, the opposite is true. Well, let me get started in explaining why tariffs are going down. President Trump has succeeded in negotiating trade agreements with three major countries: Great Britain, China, and Vietnam. Of all of our imports, they make up very close to 20%, like 19% and change, which is 1/5 of our imports. Also, the things that we are importing from them are things that we really enjoy, like, and want. Now, all these other countries, including France, I'll just use that as an example. We love French wine, especially their expensive wines, traditionally for special occasions. We never hear the end of it. Well, our American wine production, and I'm not talking about the cheap ones, and we have many cheap ones from California and inexpensive ones also locally in different regions and different states. Francis Coppola, for instance, that makes a moderate, fairly inexpensive, but for most people, it's not El Cheapo. It's a good moderate range from $10 to $25. And many of us enjoy drinking that variety. They have all different types in that price range. We're not talking red and white, we're talking all of them collectively. And so our prices are going down, number one, because we don't have tariffs, and with the economy and interest rates around the corner, prices are going down, and we all know some of them have already gone down. On top of that, we now also keep in mind, in terms of the entire world, no matter what country you're in, we're the top country in terms of consumers, and each consumer person in the United States. We consume more of everything, buy more of everything than any other country in the world. And I wasn't totally aware of that. I thought China might be a little higher because their population is so much larger than ours. They're number one in the whole world also in terms of numbers of people. But even with those numbers, they consume very, very little compared to us. So all these other countries want to deal with the United States. And I forgot to mention also China is one that we formed a deal with pretty quickly. Yeah, China, Vietnam, England, and believe it or not, ones that have not come to the table are ones that I gave an example of, like France. If something happened with all ships got shipwrecked or something, we can do without France's wine compared to all our different qualities of wine that we have produced within this country. We can do without a lot of their things, but some of it is politically being kind historically, both Republican presidents and Democratic presidents. We will pay tariffs to certain countries that we consider our friends and did it as a thank you. Well, now it's reached the point that we were being taken advantage of beyond belief, and Trump is 100% correct on that, and he's correcting things. Now let me tell you, when the United States makes cheaper wine, I'm going back to the France example. I can give you, 50 examples. But I think we can all identify with that a little better. All this time with us making wine, and our wine is, even the mid-range wine is getting less expensive. Some of them that were $21, $19, they're now down to $15. So our own wines are getting cheaper. That's one thing. And then France has kept their wines the same price, maybe a little more expensive. And also now, instead of us paying them a tariff, or rather instead of them paying us a tariff, we are paying them a tariff, and if they don't negotiate for lower tariffs, they will totally be non-competitive at all. And I found it very interesting on CNBC, both the end of last week and today and yesterday. All of a sudden, they showed charts of inflation nationwide going down by 20% even with the tariff deals that were already made, the 20% I told you about, and those that haven't negotiated, the increase in tariffs are hitting the other countries who haven't negotiated, but our prices are getting lower, and there's nothing empty on the store shelves whatsoever. No matter expensive, inexpensive, whatever wine you buy, whatever food you want, even eggs are lower, but they're not imported. They're done nationally. So we're not talking tariff with some of our food items. But we are doing very, very well. And I hate to say it, but a few Republicans and also Democrats, these tariffs are going to cause inflation, a recession, everything's going down.
Yeah, you know what, Martha, on that note, too, I want to light on what you said about Trump having the background from Wharton School of Business. I mean, I certainly don't have a financial or an economic background, but to me, when he started doing that, it seemed like he was using it as a negotiation tactic.
Yes, he was.
And that was it, plain and simple. Not everybody clamored like you're not going to be able to get all this stuff from China that we're used to getting, in stores and whatever. But that's what I always thought it was a negotiation tactic. You got to do something to break the deadlock, if you will.
Yeah, break the deadlock of us being totally used all those years. By used, I really can't believe it. You know what came to mind with me that I had personal association with? I was touring Italy. I was in Sorrento. That's how you pronounce it, I believe, north of Naples there. And I fell in love. It was a funny thing. I didn't have to have it, but I wanted it. A handmade Lazy Susan that is gorgeous, and I have it on my dining room table to this day as we speak. The price was reasonable, not super cheap, but I realized it was all hand-carved and handmade, and the price was fine. It was like $38 or $40, and I bought it. And they shipped it, but something that massive and that had to be in big boxes and wrapped carefully so nothing would break. I had it shipped rather than lugging it around with me, because suitcases were bad enough, And so I had it shipped. Well, I got this phone call 2 weeks after I got home from Kennedy Airport, and I thought, oh boy, this must be a scam, because scams were already running wild on these phone calls. And in fact, I said, look, I really don't have time right now. And about an hour later, the same lady called me back. And I thought, gee, maybe she's serious. She says, I have a package for you at Kennedy Airport from Italy that you had shipped home. And there's a value-added tax of $28 that needs to be paid before I can release this. I said, oh, I wasn't told about a value-added tax. And I said, she said, many places in Europe do not do that. But it applies to everything over, I think it was $32 or $35, I forget which. And you have to pay a value-added tax, and that tax doesn't go to the United States. We have to pay it back to Italy. I said, oh, then how come Italy doesn't collect it up there? And they said, well, they want to sell as much as they can to the tourists, so they don't tell you all the details. So when I paid that $28, 3 days later, I got the package delivered to my house, and I knew nothing about that. If it's anything, with all the traveling I've done, a lot of them are relatively inexpensive souvenirs, like Christmas tree ornaments made in Germany, in Portugal, one or two Portugal dishes, and they don't even have their homemade dishes and painted silverware and porcelain. They don't even have a value-added tax. So I thought everybody was the same. They are not all the same. And even a couple of things like from Holland. I bought a Delft vase when I was there. I went to the town of Delft and I wanted a good souvenir. That was over $100. But the taxes there were collected at the time I bought it. There were no surprises. So different countries do different things with this value-added tax. And evidently, Republican or Democrat alike, in the past, these countries, they allowed a value-added tax, so they would ship more things to the U.S., not that it was needed, but it was a sign of friendship for helping some struggling economies in other locations. And these countries, the value-added tax was never reduced, never stopped. If anything, went up. So all of a sudden, wow, we are getting everything under competition. The other countries selling us the items that we manufacture ourselves, and ours are getting less expensive. They are now faced with, guess what? We're not going to buy as much of their stuff unless things change. So many of their tariffs are being eliminated or reduced to well under 10%, not 20, 30, 40, or 50. And it is going to affect our pocketbooks, not by increasing price, not by recession, but by lowering our prices, because we now have competition of the least expensive item, whether it's made here in the United States or 5 or 6 other countries or one other country, doesn't matter. That competition makes all prices get less expensive because they want to sell their goods to the United States. So we need to take a break, but I'm sure Trump was taught all of this in his school upbringing at Wharton, and the people who have not had it are yelling recession, yelling inflation, and it's the exact opposite that's happening. So that's good news for all of us. Working class, middle class, wealthy, and even poor, depending what the item is. So we have all to gain. And on that note, we'll take a quick break, but stay with me. I have more things to tell you. I want to introduce you to our main sponsor, Highland Plaza, located on US 1 on the east side of the Highland Drive traffic light. We even have our own left-hand turn lane. One of the places in there, the first one on the north side, is Easy Stop, and you will be surprised what competitive and beautiful prices they have. You should give it a shot. Also, Tony's Hairstyling Salon is ideal for the entire family at all ages. He and his wife have run a salon there for years with a huge following. Also, we want to tell you about La Taberna Restaurant. It has the freshest Mexican food in town and a well-experienced chef. You will be most surprised not only by the food, but the reasonable prices. Also, I want to tell you about the nail salon. It's Luxury Nails. Let me tell you, they do everything, both for walk-in clients and appointments. Appointments are really appreciated, but they treat all clients professionally. Now, I want to repeat to you, this is located on US 1, just east of Highland Drive at the traffic light. It's a beautiful yellow building with a maroon awning. We look forward to seeing you there. Come on over.
Sturgis Lumber is more than just lumber. Timber! Residential, commercial, and industrial applications. Sturgis has all of the hardware to help with your project. Visit SturgisLumber.com. 4 generations strong, Sturgis Lumber and Hardware. More than just lumber.
Evergreen Media is your go-to for podcasting. Business owners, boost your brand by educating clients with your own show. Just show up. We handle everything else. Get your custom video podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and more. Start today at egreenmedia.com.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock tariff-free coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats, and chairs in the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, and Capri. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of American-made Telescope, Berlin Gardens, and Pollywood, all with no tariff ever. We specialize in fire pits, outdoor rugs, umbrellas, and replacement cushions. Right now, we're having a summer sale with lots of great markdowns and discounts on everything you need for your Florida home, including all pictures, lamps, and accessories half price. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Don't forget to visit our outlet store directly across the street, filled with lots of name brand closeouts and sale items. Come in now for our summer sale and visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Well, hi, we're back. Hey, I just want you to know there are people out there, some Republicans, some, it seems like a lot of Democrats, but I don't want to overdo it because a lot of Democrats are silent. We don't know what they're thinking. But they come up with opposite comments just because they hate the Republicans and especially Donald Trump. And there's no reason for it. He's doing a lot of good things. In fact, Netanyahu just put in the application for Trump to be the Peacemaker of the Year, to go on Time magazine and everything else. This has got to be, and also the Nobel Peace Prize, which is the top one of the peace prizes. It is silly, absolutely silly, to be ignoring all the good things that Trump is doing internationally. He's not making more money. He's the only president in recent history not collecting a penny of salary. Everybody wants to forget that. So all I'm asking you is the tariffs he was right on. Everyone else was wrong on. Let's admit it, face it, and go on. And let's hope more good things keep happening to all of us. So have a great week.